years before.
We're live. We're live. Okay, tell us about your crack smoking cousins.
Yeah, they were ahead of the curve.
Like they started really young before like crack got popular.
They were teens. Yeah, they were teens, and it was before I'd even heard of it. So, like 2 years later, I'm seeing it on the news. Like, okay,
Get in on the ground floor.
Well, welcome to tonight's episode of the Crackcast.
That's right.
We'll be voraciously smoking crack and talking about Android this evening. Should be a real quick show.
Real crack show.
Real crack show with our crack team of Android cracklers, analysts, crackalists. All right. Anyway, crackalists. Tell y'all what's crack-a-lack-a-latin in Android here. Let's sound check just for the fuck of it, shall we? Check. All right, that looks good. You guys?
Check. 1, 2, 3. Check.
Wow.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Crack.
Crack 1, crack 2, crack. All right, that looks good. It looks real good, actually. All right, let's start the show. TagTheAndroids.com. Join us.
For centuries, we've been warned about little green men. Now, they're coming. They're coming for you. Prepare for the attack of the Android.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today is Wednesday, November 18th, 2015. It's episode 174 of Tag the Androids. Every week, Wednesday evenings, join us. TagTheAndroids.com/live takes you right there. We're also on Freenet, pound AOTA. I'm Matt Lee. That guy right there, his name's Eric. What's up, Eric?
Not much, Matt. I'm learning a lot about drug culture today. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's just one of them days. It was a good day. Didn't have to break out the AK. Nick Carroll also joining us. What's up, Nick?
It's not a Friday, but I'm still glad to be here, guys.
That's right. It's not a Friday, but I still ain't got shit to do tomorrow, so let's get high. We'll talk about Android. Let's see, where should we start? First off, some interesting, we're always into the whole Project ARA thing, even though we're probably never going to see it. Just the idea. We really like the modular phone idea. I still think it's a great idea if it can be executed properly. But the team now, what are they working on? Some glassless Google Glass? Which makes it what? Google ass? You take the glass out of... I'm confused.
Well, I don't think you should be confused. Think about like the Amazon Echo just shoved into your ear. That's what I'm imagining.
That's not exactly glass now, is it? That's more like Google hearing aid.
Well, and they have a picture of the Moto Hint, if you remember that little gem. I mean, yeah, it does kind of look like the Google hearing aid.
If you're watching live here, tagtheandroids.com/live, you can see the video.
I think that's the Hint. I could be wrong. I think that's what they called it. The Moto Hint. Yeah, there it is.
Looks like a hearing aid. I
Yeah.
don't like things in my ear, like earbuds. Not a fan. I need.
This one's pretty cool. From what I remember, it's just a Bluetooth like earpiece, but it's much smaller, and you can like use the touchpad on it for some actions. I can't recall, but it's one of the better ones. I think it's one of the more expensive earpieces as well, but it's compact and it goes well, and there's software built into, or that comes with the Moto line of phones that I think will work with, or you download it. I can't recall.
Well, see, I'm a musician, and as such, we have very sensitive ears. So I like to wear these earmuffs. They're felt lined with chinchilla fur, softest material known to humans, and they just cover your ear.
Are they killing the chinchilla or are they shaving the chinchilla?
Sorry, I can't hear you right now because I have my giant earmuff headphones on. What did you say?
Are they killing the chinchillas or are they shaving them?
Well, mine haven't moved, so I assume they're dead.
God damn it. You're such a monster. I can see the benefit of this, though.
They're so
You
soft.
can't see the benefit?
Well, it's going to be smaller. It's not going to be in the way as much, so that's cool.
But no, this is not the benefit. The whole point of glass was to do augmented reality. That's what we thought. That's what the first video they came out with, completely showing something that doesn't exist, or like this is totally different. There's no augmented reality here unless you're.
Well, what they were doing with Google Glass, it was, you had bone conduction for audio, so I guess if you use something like Hint with it, you can have that, and it'll look more like regular glasses.
The headline, I guess, was misleading me because I was expecting something like glass without glass, which would be like a lens that went on your eye. Something, the next iteration of glass. This is just a different thing altogether.
Yeah.
Well, the team is working on two. The rumor was, and this is all coming from the information, and because we don't have subscriptions, we can't see the source material. But the original rumors were that they were working on 3 versions of glass, but that now it's consolidated down to 2. One of those versions would be this, which doesn't have a display, and the other one would have a display. So I don't think that. I mean, it sounds like they're still working on, one that maybe has a lens like you're talking about, but that they've sort of created a glass family, if you will, that one that doesn't have the display on it. Which if you don't want to walk around looking like a dick, then maybe that's fine. If you just want to be able to ask questions.
Yeah, something like this, if you have all the functionality without the visual stuff, I know you're cutting a lot of the functionality out, but you can still have the voice activation and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. It's probably cheaper too.
Is this a different demographic than the watch users? Because a lot of the functionality you just described is also things a watch does without having to stick a weird, gross thing in your ear.
Or maybe it'll work with a watch as well. Like maybe you can have a display in your watch and it works with that.
And just a better microphone, basically.
Yeah.
I
mean, there may be an app and then that, or an app on your smartphone and that. So either way, they could do something like that.
I mean, Matt brought it up when he first started talking about this article. It's coming from the AotA team. We haven't seen any of this yet. They've been working on glass for how many years?
3+
so.
years.
Even exist? I'm starting to question.
No. When we go to the offices, it's just a bunch of phones sitting on the floor. There's no furniture. I think that you had Eric. What's his name? I'm having a really rough morning, folks. I apologize.
No.
What's that?
Eric Estrada?
Not Eric Estrada. The former head of Google. What are we talking about?
Oh,
I
I
know.
know.
Go ahead,
Eric
Nick.
Schmidt.
Eric Schmitty. You had him talking about saying that there was going to be a version of Google Glass, I think, like the beginning of this year, if not last year. So a lot of this has just been vaporware, and it's hard to get excited about it.
Yeah, I've been one of the critics of glass in that it's something they should have come out with something a year or 2 ago. They announced it, I think, 3 years ago, and then they had the $1,500 Explorer edition, and then nothing new since. They've had slight variations, like of like the look, like colors and stuff like that, but it's been the same thing, and that never really got any cheaper. So you'd have to get it secondhand for it to be cheap, and then they just stopped selling it, and then they said nothing about it, and then they moved it over to the Nest team or whatever, and that's it. There's been nothing, and it's like you at least could put the product out there. Other companies have been trying to put out similar products, but without Google to essentially lead the way. And there's no one like Apple to lead the way in this industry. So you had a bunch of little ones by Sony and maybe Samsung, and that didn't go anywhere. That did not go anywhere. And then a few other smaller companies that have like, here's a set of glasses that looks like a set of glasses, and there's like a little camera there, and it's maybe a lesser version, or some that were more exotic looking. So.
You know what I'm interested in? This Asus Chromebit looks kind of cool. Basically, just a little computer on a stick of sorts.
But how does it fit in your ear? I'm really confused.
Yeah, no, I thought this one was for the other port on your body.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Pick your
Go
port.
on, I'm intrigued.
Just the shape of it, and it's got a little string hanging out there, so you pull. Yeah.
Perfect.
There we go.
But so what is this thing? It's just basically a little 5-inch USB jump drive looking thing that's HDMI, and you plug it into a monitor, and it's an instant Chromebox.
Yeah,
Chrome
so Chromebox in a stick, yeah, basically. A little $85 computer.
$85. How does that compare to like a Chromebox, as far as price? Do we know?
The Chromeboxes are, I think the lowest ones are like 150, and they went up pretty high. But I mean, you can get up to, I think there's at least one that was like a Core i5 of the last generation, and you could upgrade it up to like 16 gigs of RAM, if needed. There were a couple different, well, maybe more than 3 different Chromeboxes out there. So, but it's like that, but it's smaller. It's like a Chromebook or Chromecast, yeah, just stick it in the TV. You get an extra power brick with it. The power brick is required. It's got a 4-foot cable that plugs into it as well that powers it. And because it actually requires 1.5 amps to power it and not like 0.5, you can't use the USB port on your television set. Even if your television set does support powering a USB port, they're limited to 0.5 amps, and this is 1.5 amps. So it comes with the little power brick, 4-foot cord, and an extension cord for the HDMI connection, and then the actual Chrome key itself, and that's what you get for the $85. And it's like
that's pretty cool having the USB on one side and the HDMI on the other. It also looks like it's using the same plug that regular Chromebooks use, that round cylinder plug. I mean, I don't know. Same.
It's a smaller one, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
It's proprietary, but it's.
What's the specs on it?
I'll have to look that up again. I thought it had like 2 gigs of RAM, but it's like a MediaTek processor. But I'll pull it up real quick. Let's see. Rockchip.
You got it?
Yeah, Rockchip, 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of onboard storage. And if you compare it to like the Chromecast is, I think, 1 gig of RAM or maybe half a gig of RAM and 4 gigs of storage. This is pretty decent for the.
That's impressive for the footprint of it, right? Like putting that much. I mean, 2 gigs of RAM is awesome for Chrome OS.
And it's got a Bluetooth receiver or transmitter as well, so it can.
And all. Yeah, that's really cool. And
do you guys remember the Chromebook Flip, the one that they released a few months ago?
Yeah,
when I got
this has the exact same innards.
Oh, cool.
Which is amazing. If you look at that and then compare it to this, and the fact that they were able to squish all that down.
Yeah. It's an ARM SoC, so that helps. Mali T764 quad-core GPU. But yeah, it's pretty decent. It says smart ready.
Like running, like cloud equations and shit on it, but it's
just to run a web browser. It's pretty decent. I mean, you're running Chrome OS, so
to have something that's that big, right? To be able to bring wherever you're at and just plug into anything that has HDMI on it, all hotel TVs. I mean, assuming you can get this thing on the internet there, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Way lighter than carrying a laptop, right?
Yeah.
Assuming you have a screen that you can use wherever you're going.
Yeah.
So in the review they were talking that one of the downsides though is it only has one USB port, so the assumption is that you're going to be using a Bluetooth keyboard of some sort and a wireless mouse, which is fine, but they noticed that after about 10 feet they started getting drops. So that could be a problem unless you want to just sit right in front of the TV. And if you want to use wired, then you have to obviously use something like a USB hub.
Will that work? Like, I know my Chromebook, it'll work. You can plug in a USB hub and it lights it up and everything. But I wonder if something like this, you'd probably have to power it, obviously.
Yeah, if it's a powered USB hub, I'm sure there'd be no problem.
They don't say, but you're probably right.
I feel like if a Chromecast is 35, this thing has to hit 50. 85 is too much, for me personally. I think 50. If it was 50, I would totally have one, just to have it.
Yeah, It's kind of comparable to like the Amazon Fire Stick, but since it's actually more like a computer, you get a web interface and all the Chrome apps and everything else you normally do. And instead of like using your like a Chrome browser or an app with a Chromecast plugin or functionality to cast to it, you basically just open up a browser, hit full screen on any video that you're playing, and you're just watching it full screen on whatever display you're using. So
But because it's a Chrome browser also, you could Chromecast if you had another display, right,
Yeah.
that you had plugged into.
Yeah,
which
and
is a little more, yeah.
I didn't see it listed here, but I know that the Chrome boxes support multiple resolutions, so it's not just a full HD display, 1920 by 1080. It could be potential or possible that this might work on a 4K display or 1440p display. So that'd be something I would like to see someone test out, because if you have a 4K display, you could probably set it up on your 4K TV, and most of these other devices like the Chromecast and other streaming boxes, most of them don't do 4K output, whereas you could potentially on this Chrome bit or whatever it's called, the Chrome bit, potentially output to 4K. So that's an option.
One thing too, if you, I don't know how many people would do this, but you could take this and plug it into every TV in your house, and then wherever you were, you would always have that access if you needed a browser or whatever, or a little computer, basically.
It seems hard to justify. I feel like if I'm going to spend $85, I would just buy a real one.
A real Chromebook?
Yeah, if I'm going to spend, if I want the Chrome OS experience, I would spend, I don't know, $200, get one that has a keyboard and a mouse, or a keyboard and a trackpad included, because you're going to be paying probably an extra $40 or so for a keyboard and a mouse anyway. So it's just jumped to $120.
I think the assumption is probably you have that stuff already, right?
Yeah, you have to figure out if you have it. And real quick, it does support 4K output, so you can actually run Chrome OS at 4K resolution.
So you were saying the Chromecast does not, or the second?
The Chromecast 1 and 2, as far as I know, they only output 1080p. Nexus Player 1080p. I think the Amazon Fire TV, I think, does 4K, and of course the NVIDIA Shield. I know the NVIDIA Shield definitely does 4K video, but the Apple TV does not.
That makes more sense though, because there's way more video games set up for that than there are, things you're gonna watch online. Yeah. But that's pretty cool though. I mean, I think the coolest part about it is just the miniaturization of that. Like you went from this to a Chrome box to this little Chrome stick. It's I don't know. It's iterative, but it's a cool little thing.
Yeah.
You know what else is a cool little thing?
Tell me.
This NVIDIA Shield tablet K1, which I just noticed. Didn't they like drop the price on it, $60 or something?
Yeah, it's no. This is the same price as the original Shield tablet.
Okay, no, I thought I saw something online before we started the show that somebody was having a sale.
I thought the original Shield tablet was more expensive. I thought it was like $299, but I could be wrong.
That's if you wanted the that's if you wanted the 500 gigabyte version.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted just the I'm thinking of the Shield TV. No, I'm going to shut up because I think this is cheaper than the original Shield tablet.
Yeah. I think the reason why this is cheaper is because. Well, I think the reason why this is cheaper is $199 for the 16 gig. Or it comes at 16 gigs, 2 gigs of RAM, but it doesn't include the stylus. There's the part on the tablet that you connect the stylus to is gone, and what else is there? There's one other difference I can't remember.
It's a different bezel.
Yeah, different bezel. Oh, it doesn't come with the power supply or the cord. It's literally just the tablet, and that's why it's $200. But if you think about it, $200 was the price of the original Nexus 7 that everyone was picking up because it was only $200, and that was a 1 gig memory, 8 gigs of storage, and this is 2 gigs of memory, 16 gigs of storage, and it's running the fastest Android chipset currently, at least for graphics. The GPU is the highest powered graphics, and the CPU is pretty decent. I can't remember if it's quad-core or dual-core.
Did they do a recall because one of them blew up or something? I just saw this article on The Verge talking about how it's on sale again for $199, after a fire hazard recall.
Yeah, that was some of the batteries in the original NVIDIA Shield tablet had an issue and some didn't, and you had to look in settings to figure out which one was which. I think Eric had one of those.
Did yours blow up, Eric?
It didn't blow up, but I did have to send it back.
They send you a new one?
Yeah, they sent me a new one. It was
Is this
free.
thing awesome? Is this thing awesome? Like, do I need this in my life?
It has the same innards, like Nick said, as the original Shield tablet.
Those either.
And
so.
it's a nice tablet. I still enjoy mine. I'm not looking to replace it anytime soon. So if you want a new tablet,
I can play Half-Life 2 on it?
yeah, I think so.
And
I think it
Portal
came
2.
with Half-Life 2 at one point.
And Portal 2, I think.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, one of the things, like for me, I bought the Nexus 9 instead of the Shield tablet, but I would have bought the Shield tablet had I not bought the Nexus 9. It was down to those two.
See, I didn't get the Nexus 9 because I went with that Asus Qi 2, which I have since sent back.
Yep.
Because of Wi-Fi issues. So I was kind of looking again. I really like that Chromebook Flip, but I can't justify buying that when I already have a regular Chromebook.
The one thing I found interesting is the title. It's NVIDIA Shield K1 is what it's called, which for me leads me to believe that the next iteration of this is going to be the NVIDIA Shield X1 because that's the next iteration
of the processor.
Yeah, and actually the Pixel C that's coming out will have the X1 chipset on it, the one that's coming out next month. So
I also like how they, in the press conference or in the announcement, they didn't reference the whole point that, oh, it got recalled and whatnot. They just said, hey, we're bringing it back because the fans asked for it. Did they, NVIDIA, or did they just want the ones to just
Well, this
work?
is good for them in that it's another SKU they can put out, so they get to make more money on a new product. You know, because once you sell a batch out to whoever gets it, you are waiting for them either to order another batch or you have another product to come out.
Are these on Amazon?
Probably.
I don't know that they're there yet.
Can I add it to the baby registry? Baby needs a Shield tablet, you guys.
I gotta think they're just trying to hit that. They're trying to hit the Christmas rush, and when people are looking for a tablet, they wanted to be in the $199 or less category. So
yeah, good point.
I would also like it to have more than 16 gigs if we're going to be playing games on the damn thing, but it doesn't look like bringing that back or the LTE versions. Only 16 gig Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's listed on Amazon at least. It says in stock, newest version.
Nice.
Oh, and you can install up to a 128 gig memory card. You can bundle it with that, or you can, if you have one.
Going on the baby registry.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes. It's all for the kid. It's so that way you can quickly look up any health issue.
Obviously, me, but
where to buy diapers.
That's right.
That's right. Can distract the thing. I mean, also.
Yeah.
How has that Shield tablet been working for you, Eric? Like performance and everything?
Marshmallow yet?
It does not have Marshmallow yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, like
they said it's coming
early next year.
Early next week, dude.
In a few months.
What? Oh, okay, that's cool.
What?
They said months.
Did I misread that?
The word was months, Eric.
Oh shit! I misread that so much.
Depression sets in.
Eric, are you
now I'm sad.
Any of this at all?
No, I told you it's been a rough morning. So I'm reading through this and I got really happy. I'm like, oh, this is great. We're gonna get Marshmallow in time for Christmas. Well, actually, it does say in time for the holidays. So
4th of July, dude. You don't know which holiday.
Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah, which holidays?
We don't know yet.
Thanksgiving next year.
So, well, that's good. Coming soon. They have to make sure it works with their processor, right? There's a lot of things they're doing under the hood, I'm sure, that Android in this next iteration, because of all of the major kernel changes and whatnot, got to make sure it works. Same reason took the Moto X so long, the first version, right, with that XA processor, to get Lollipop, because they had to, I don't know what they had to do, but they had to do some shit. took them forever.
They've lost a little steam, though. NVIDIA was typically very good about getting these updates to the tablet really quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem like they're as motivated anymore, which is sad, but it probably just means that they're working on something new. I just want my tablet running Marshmallow.
Well, at least it's stock Android otherwise, so.
You know what's whack? If you want this tablet for $200, it's just the tablet. If you want the controller, it's $259. That's bullshit.
I think you can get them. I think you can get them used, like on eBay or something, for cheaper. But yeah, the controllers are expensive. Period.
Is it just an Xbox controller? Because it looks an awful lot like
it looks like it, but it does. It has a Wi-Fi connection instead of a Bluetooth connection, so there's lower latency for one thing.
Is there a lower latency? That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a nice controller. It is very Xbox-like. It's a little like I have the 360 controller here. It's a little chunkier than the 360 controller, but it's still comfortable.
Hmm.
And can't you also connect it through USB, or am I thinking of something else? Can't you also connect
You can do it USB. You can use Bluetooth controllers, but like you said, what they recommend is this controller, which is Wi-Fi Direct.
Yeah.
Very tempting. I don't know if I can just $300 though for a gaming tablet, but maybe.
I would just look at if you want the tablet, get the tablet. I think it's kind of ghetto that they don't include even a USB cord. But
yeah,
that's
their price-setting method. But I said, to be fair, it's better relatively in terms of where it stands in the tablet space than say the Nexus 7 was when it came out. Because Nexus 7 was like middle of the road, not even a rear-facing camera, very weak construction, and the Shield tablet is better construction overall.
I'll tell you what, though. I see what they were doing by removing the rear-facing camera.
Yeah.
They're trying to, cut down on this.
Yeah. That too.
I doing their part. I appreciate that. I do. And so this is full on like just a regular Android tablet, gets Play Store and all that fun stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Very tempting.
But with a nice processor.
With a nice K1 processor.
That's right.
A processor that powers your Corvette. Razer doubling down on the old Android TV. What is the Razer, first of all? Is that little gaming console thing? Oh, it is. Look at that.
Yeah. It's just the follow-up from last week that, we talked about the fact that the Forge TV left the store, and now Razer is trying to save some face and tell people like, hey, come on, it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's good for them to do, because this is not a bad product. If you compared it to the other $99 items, streaming boxes out there, it's very good hardware. It's the same hardware as what's in the Nexus 6, and without having to necessarily try to be as efficient. So it's twice as much memory and storage as the Nexus player for the same price when they're both at $100. So.
Two things. First, this thing kind of looks like the Ouya was like turning 16 and getting rebellious and like had a few drinks and then got a tattoo.
Yeah,
like,
got a tribal tattoo on its face.
Yeah,
Tramp stamp.
The second thing, if you scroll down on the article here, I do appreciate that Engadget has something called Dear First Generation Sex Robot, an open letter to people, I guess.
That was also recommended for you. Interesting. Let's click.
Dear first gen sex robot.
I don't know, she doesn't look happy.
She always has a headache.
One thing they could do just to boost their Ouya market is just have a version of this that's basically the next Ouya.
Like every Ouya comes with a free sex robot. That's fun.
Sorry, Nick. You had a very good thought, and we just sex robot all over it. So very sorry.
I'm actually more interested in the sex robot stuff too now. the directions we're going on this podcast, but
it'll be recommended for you if you hang out long enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing a lot of these companies don't do is they don't innovate. they try to replicate what others are doing, and then they buy these other companies and don't do anything with it, or they kill it because it's competition. If you're going to be Razer and you buy the entire Ouya company, the branding, everything, where's the Ouya 2? The company Ouya should have had their own second version product, but they don't have one. Here's this Forge TV product, which is by all accounts much better hardware, and they could really quickly make an Ouya 2, but it's like they don't have any confidence in that brand. Well, I don't know. So
yeah, I think that if anything, like this is just them telling people to, hang on just until CES when we might have something to show. But if it's not, honestly, if they can't come up with something that makes me rethink my NVIDIA Shield purchase, then they're screwed. Then they have no. I mean, then they're done.
Yeah, if they can't come up with anything by CES that doesn't exceed what is currently available with the current NVIDIA Shield streaming box, then that's also a bad sign.
Yeah.
PlayStation View, the View, is it pronounced View?
View.
Vui?
It's like Voo.
PlayStation Vui launching on some Amazon devices, and soon your Chromecast. Very exciting for PlayStation View. What is PlayStation View?
It's an internet streaming service. It's like a bundle of other services. Yeah.
I'm sorry. The whack juice dripping off of those things is just palatable. It's disgusting. I do. I'll tell you what. We went and bought some PlayStation games. Been playing the new Fallout. I don't know why people like that game. It's like Minecraft.
Really?
Fallout, it's the worst waste of time I've ever. It's just like Minecraft, but it's a fucking like apocalyptic skin on it. Like you gotta go. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not. Did you ever play Skyrim? Is it anything like Skyrim?
I played Oblivion.
Oblivion. Okay, same thing. Is it anything like that?
I think it's made with the same.
Oblivion was fun and enjoyable. Fallout 4 is neither of those things.
I could be wrong, but I think it's the same engine that's used in Skyrim. I think.
Yeah, it's the same game engine, but that's where the similarities stop. Am I the only one who thinks that? I can't be the only one.
Mine's still on its way. I haven't been able to play it yet.
I'll tell you what, send it back because it sucks, dude. I don't know.
It depends on the audience. Eric maybe. There's a lot of people that are enjoying it right now, but
it depends how much of
I don't like
you are and how much time you have to kill because you have no life, I guess. If you have lots of, I can't get into it. You know what I do?
I'm not a big fan of Minecraft. Like I could never get into it, so maybe that's going to be a problem.
You play any of the other Fallout games? Because I did not. So maybe they're all.
I didn't either.
Okay, well you're gonna fucking hate this.
It's not my style of game, but I mostly play first-person shooters. That's the stuff I had been playing mostly. So.
Well,
you know what I play is the new. Well, I don't know if it's new, but it's the Batman game on the PS4.
Oh yeah.
Arkham. Cool. You like jump around and hang and fly and drive the car. Oh yeah, that's good shit.
So PlayStation Vui is it's like it's TV service. It's like that. It's like the Dish Network thing where you could get like a certain amount of TV channels. The difference being is that in order for you to first off, it's as expensive as getting a cable subscription. So what is the point? And secondly, you can only use it really in like 7 cities. So Chicago, Dallas, LA, San Francisco. The only benefit I could see is that there was some mention of cloud DVR, like from our Aereo days. But yeah, I mean that seems to be about it as far as the appeal.
I guess if you're really into the PlayStation ecosystem, for whatever it's worth, maybe it's something worth doing, and your cord cutter or something. I don't know.
How is this cord cutting though? Like that's what I don't understand, because that's how it keeps getting presented. If you're buying a fucking bundle of 85 channels for $64.99 a month, you're not cord cutting.
That comes in, you're not cutting the cord.
Yeah, you're going from one abusive spouse to the other.
Well, maybe you don't use the
should be going is the shelter and get your life back on track.
That's right.
But no, you go back to the bar, and then you end up going home with Netflix or something.
Well, I think the reason why you'd use it as a cord cutter is like maybe you have a relative that's using the actual. They have the landline essentially. They're using the cable service, but they're not using the streaming service. Maybe you link it with that. I don't know.
People they don't own PS4s, dude. That's the wrong demographic.
Well, I guess
maybe
that's why they want to. That's why they want to expand it to like these other things. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can imagine that they had a lot of subscribers when it was just on PS3 and PS4. So this totally makes sense. Are you kidding me? Like, these are the same people that bitch about a video game costing more than $50. They're not going to pay $60-something a month for TV.
Oh, but their parents might. You don't know.
There you go. Nailed it.
Gamergate.
Yeah, let's instigate those people.
Maybe we can like get them to fight ISIS, and then like two birds, one stone.
There's plenty of people fighting ISIS now. I'll tell you that. Anonymous.
See that? They're like like they took over a bunch of their Twitter accounts, and then recently like started just naming off a bunch of people that are involved. Like, go get them. That's cool.
Come on. I changed my Facebook picture to have a French flag, so I think I'm also fighting ISIS in a little way.
The rebellion continues.
The rebellion has begun.
Well, Eric, you'll be happy to know I purchased a yellow ribbon just so that I could support you.
Oh,
Did you tie it around the old oak tree?
No, I put it on my car. No.
Oh, that's nice. I don't remember what the yellow ribbon's for.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Supporting something.
I don't want to like steal valor or something. So let's just say that's not for me.
Supporting war, I think. I don't know.
Oh, that's good.
People that are off at war, I think.
Google's cutting some Android app prices to increase inventory. I don't think inventory, like when you hear the word inventory, that means you got a bunch of shit taking up space that you got to sell so that you can make money to then purchase more inventory, right? This is digital space. How does that work?
They're just saying that the minimum price for that you can set for an app in a region or whatever is now lower. So you can go as low as X before having to resort to free.
Wasn't it free before?
Well, it's like, say the cheapest app you can have is $1, and then if you want anything cheaper than that, you can only go down to free.
Oh, so now we'll see a whole bunch of crappy apps that are like 49 cents. Oh, that's cool.
I think it's the equivalent of saying like of before where it was like, well, you could have free apps and then the minimum is $2. Like now it's 99 cents. So like maybe in the native currency it's a little bit more in line with what we would consider the easy buy. The countries that they're talking about, like Peru, Philippines, Poland, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, like, and some of these drops are pretty significant. Like in South Africa, it went from 10. I forget what they use, but it went from 10 to 3.99. In Thailand, it went from 32 baht to 10 baht, which is a very significant drop. So it makes sense to me that app developers that want to actually make money on their apps from people purchasing them versus ad revenue now have better options.
Now, would you go WikiPad or would you go Shield?
That's a very tough question.
The WikiPad, it has a Tegra 3 in it, which is it's kind of showing its age now, yeah?
I wouldn't go WikiPad. Are you kidding me? I would go Zoom.
I will go Zoom.
Running Honeycomb.
Yeah.
That shit was great.
Only the best.
1 gig of RAM and a 1.3 gig quad core. Come on.
Now, if you're gonna buy a tablet, I think Nvidia is killing it with all of their Android stuff. If you're gonna get Android TV, you get Nvidia. If you're gonna get a tablet, get an Nvidia tablet.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Decisions.
Just buy
Oppo
it. Come on.
are we done with that? Cheaper apps. Cool.
Yeah, it's good for people. You elitist prick.
No, that's now that you explained to me what it's for. Oppo's going to start offering a near stock Android outside of China,
Good
which
choice.
would be exciting. How do you like your Oppo, Eric?
I sold it.
Oh, interesting.
Thanks, swappa.com.
Why is that?
Because we've talked about it before. I don't have any proof, but my theory, which came from Shane Brady, I think is a good one, and that is these companies, they want to hit the low price point, and they use really, really cheap components that die very quickly.
Oh, I remember the over time getting way slower issue.
Yeah, exactly.
All phones kind of do that, but not that quickly.
Yeah, it was a significant dip. Like when I felt it happen on the Oppo, like it was sudden and it was way earlier than it should have been, I feel. I've used Color OS like they're talking about. It's not bad. It's more. It definitely is more TouchWiz than it is stock.
Didn't it not have an app drawer, if I remember correctly, right?
Oh
Or am I thinking
God.
of something else?
You might be right. I don't actually remember.
Drawers
but
are overrated. Just wallpaper, man. Come on. Make my phone look like Windows desktop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. Like it seems it's funny to me that these they they started out like the first time we heard about Oppo was they were doing the N1 and that you had two options. You had Color OS or you had Cyanogen. So they're sort of doing the same thing except they're not going with like maybe they just learned how to do it themselves. They're not going with a third party like CyanogenMod.
Yeah.
But it was not well supported anyway, so I really don't have much faith. Like buying an Oppo phone is weird. Maybe it's gotten better, but like I had to go to some weird website that, I think it's like semi-official, but they bring them over from China, so that experience wasn't great. They didn't do a good job at updating software. I don't really, this just seems like a way to try to get people like us that like stock to try to trick us into buying it again. But I really don't think you should do it.
How was the malware? Did the malware work well?
It wasn't bad. I wouldn't call it malware. I'd call it like mehware.
Meh. I like that.
Yeah. Trademark.
All right. Well, let's see. This is kind of cool. Google search indexing on letting you stream Android apps, like just in the search.
I really like this idea. Yeah, so it's the idea that maybe there's an app out there like I don't know, like Hipmunk or something. I don't know if they have a website. I don't think they do, but it's an app that lets you buy like hotel rooms, lets you book hotel rooms. So there's no app.
.com?
Sort of, but maybe the app does it better for some reason. The example that they're using. Oh, here we go. The example they're using is Hotel Tonight. So there's no website for Google to crawl and spider and index. So they're indexing the apps, and then on top of that, they're making it to where you don't have to actually. So it'll come up in your search results because they've indexed it, and then you tap it, and you don't have to actually install it to your phone. It streams the app to you.
It's basically like opening the page in an iframe and like showing you, like in essence, that's what it's doing. That's kind of cool.
I like it because I find myself, especially when I go on vacation, it's like, okay, maybe I need this app. Perfect example, like we went to Thailand and I needed the for the SkyTrain for public transit. And I find like every time I go there, I'm installing it, then I'm uninstalling it. It'd be nice to just stream it, get what I need, and be done.
Does it let you log in like for like something like hotels.com if you have an account on it, but you don't, like you do what I do, I'll uninstall it because there's large gaps of time where you're not doing hotel things, and then maybe a couple times you need it. Like, can you use your account on there, or does it not?
It's virtualizing this. They say that part of it is through the Google app that's already installed,
Right.
and then what Google's doing, they're putting the rest of it on virtual machines in Google Cloud. So it's running the app. I would assume that if you can log into the app normally, you could log into this one.
I wonder if there are any file space savings, like if you have a very small, like storage space on a relatively small smartphone or something, or inexpensive smartphone. I wonder if there's an advantage if you have a lot of apps in the virtualized.
The only thing I could see is that if it's storing all that stuff in like the Google Play app itself or whatever, then that would start to get big, but probably nowhere near as big as having the actual apps themselves installed.
I can see this being used theoretically on, like, if you have a Chromebook, in theory, have virtual Android software running, through something on the Chromebook. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool if it did that. Like if you search for something and it just virtualized the app version of it. I do find that weird though that these things have no website for them. I mean that kind of, I guess, but it like slaps something together, right? I don't know. It seems weird.
Well, it's like Shane's Peeps, the app that they've been working on, that group up app. Like I don't think they have a website. I think they have a website, but I don't believe any of the functionality is in the website because the whole point of it is that you're on the go or
like
something.
Instagram, right? If you go to the website, it's very like restricted as far as what you can do. You can't like upload pictures. You can really just look at shit. You can't do much of anything. But
Like,
then,
would it make sense to have a Wi-Fi analyzer with a website? No, but
Yeah.
it makes sense to have a Wi-Fi analyzer.
But why are you Google searching like Wi-Fi access points? I mean,
You might be like, why am I having problems here? Why am I having problems in my apartment? And you just Google it rather than installing it.
would show you that like, yo, this app says that you're on a channel that everyone else is on because everyone got their modem from the same DSL place, and it's all channel 11. That's cool.
I feel like you're speaking from experience.
Yeah, actually, I just checked it out the other day when we moved some stuff, and there's like 18 CenturyTel, CenturyLink, whatever they are now, and they're all on the same channel, just stepping right over each other. It's like your better channels are 1 through 9. Stay away from the
Channels, everything else.
Yeah, that's good shit.
Ooh. Did you see the whole thing about the Google Photos and offering you a way to reclaim space?
No, but I did see that Google Plus was updated, and I'll tell you what, try to find Hangouts on Air for a page in the new interface. Try it. It doesn't exist.
Oh,
I have not gone to Google Plus in a very long time.
yeah, that's something I noticed earlier. I was trying to find the Hangout section through here, and I couldn't find it.
I even went to hangouts.google.com under the AotA account, like,
Yeah.
Wait, so you mean just clicking the Hangouts icon on the top right?
No, but in a page. Is it there? Is Hangouts on Air there?
I don't think you have it. If you're looking at G+, Eric, I don't think you have it.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'll stream you what I'm seeing.
Yeah, let's see it.
So here's what it looks like on mine.
Wait, go up. What's that? Okay.
But usually it was like right here.
Different.
Yeah, it used to be like right.
Yeah. See, it's not ananywhere.
Like that goes in and out, but.
Yeah, but it's not in any of those things. And so you have to go to hangouts.google.com, but then that takes you to a version that didn't seem to have Hangouts on Air. Maybe I just didn't look long enough.
Did you try Googling Hangouts on Air?
I did actually, like an asshole, I searched Hangouts, And it gives me all of these like groups and communities about Hangouts. I was like, duh, that wasn't very good.
Oh God.
Are you Google much? Nah.
Let me Google that for you.
Sorry, but that had nothing to do with what you were saying. But Google Photos is doing what now?
No, it's close. It used to be part of it. It's just saying that you know how you could take pictures, and they offered unlimited storage if you could either store original size with your drive storage space, or you get unlimited if you let them compress the photos. Well, if you were one of those people that did them at original size, and then you're like, oh man, I'm running out of Google Drive space, they're adding an option called I believe recover storage or reclaim space, one of the two, and you'll be able to choose that, and it will go through and it will grab all of your original quality photos and compress them down and give you that space back in Google Drive.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I always upload the original, just because I want to have like the high quality original, but for most people I'm sure that they're fine.
Say it, because you're a data hoarder.
Because I'm a data hoarder.
You are. I know you are.
I know for me, I've been compressing everything, so.
It's because you don't want your memories to be full quality.
When I'm old, I won't be able to see well anyway, so.
Why is everything in 640 by 480?
Because everything's so pixelated.
That's awesome.
The beginning of the end.
If you just didn't remember stuff and you just thought that's what shit looked like back then. You're like, I have all these podcasts to listen to, and I have these pictures to look at. That's memories. New camera app coming to Marshmallow. I have Marshmallow. Do I have a new camera app?
If you don't, you can download the APK.
I don't know where my phone is.
Oh no. It is the same version that already comes with the Nexus 6P and 5X. It's a different UI. It looks pretty nice, but the cool thing, it has like some extra features that, and one of them in particular I'm excited about, which is that when you're taking video, if it's out of focus, you can tap to focus now. Whereas before, if you tapped, it would take a picture, because that makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I think I was excited.
Instead of tap to focus? Is that what you're saying?
No. So okay, if you're taking a video and it's out of focus, with the current camera app, if you try to focus it by tapping to focus, the same as you do for taking a picture, it doesn't focus the video. Instead, it takes a picture of what's on the screen.
Oh, in video mode. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So now it'll actually tap to focus. If your phone supports it, there's going to be an auto HDR plus mode, and see here, you can also do burst photos, I believe.
I pretty much shoot everything in HDR plus.
Do you?
I like it.
And that just takes 3 pictures, right?
I have no clue, but they look nice. and then I filter the crap out of them in Instagram.
Dear God, Matt, you're a part of the problem. What's wrong with you?
I kind of am. If you look at my Instagram, I'm a pretty big part of the problem.
Future generations are going to be so depressed. They're going to be like, the world looks so much better back then. Like, nope.
Yeah, right?
Nope, we just filtered the shit out of it.
Guys,
Archaeologists.
It's awesome.
So it's nice. You should download the APK.
I might have to. I don't know. I'm kind of happy with my camera. Although I will tell you, like, doing videos, it does like to try to autofocus a bunch, and it never gets it very good. So
yeah,
that might be
That's
nice.
something I noticed too.
Yeah. This is kind of cool. Amazon finally stepping up their security game, offering 2-step authentication now. So I hope we all go and get that working on our Amazon accounts. And then while you're there, buy some stuff through the Attack of the Androids link. There's an Amazon right there. I know, shameless.
I love it.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. Does this let you use Google Authenticator? Yes, it does.
It does.
So does Facebook. So does WordPress. And if you use these things, You should have two-factor. You know what doesn't? And it's so weird to me. I don't know why it doesn't, but Twitter. Twitter does not. They do it via text message and possibly through the Twitter app, but I don't use the official Twitter app. But they don't let you use like Authenticator. It's weird. I have like everything in there except for Twitter. It always sends me a text message.
I like, once you get started with using the Google Authenticator app, it's really good. Yeah, it's just second nature.
In this terrorist-laden climate that we are all living in, Eric, and you probably know this better than anyone, security is key.
Security is key.
You PC, bro?
Totally PC, bro.
Oh, cool. WSU, what state, bro? So yeah, that's good. I'm glad Amazon is doing that. I'm gonna enable that as soon as we're done with the show, and I hope to not buy this Shield tablet.
I put it in there for you, so that way you could two-step verify before you buy your Shield tablet.
You can buy that Shield tablet with the Attack the Androids Amazon link.
Yeah, except I can't because I made the thing here. I need to run through a proxy and use a different Amazon account, in which case I then need to apply for an Amazon credit card because I don't have any money. This is all on credit. So
perfect. That's the American way, man.
No, I know, it's the American dream. I finally realized it and I've been living it. And it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
That's why it's a dream and not a nightmare.
For now. Anything else? This is kind of cool if you're into music editing. I haven't messed with it yet, but I remember we were talking about, like in Marshmallow, I think, that Android was getting MIDI support. And that there was always a rift there for like iOS and Android. iOS did have really good music stuff because their latency was like super low, and that was their thing. Android apps like always miss the mark on this kind of stuff. So now that they have this sort of thing built into it, it seems like it'll start getting better. And like I said, I haven't messed with this yet, but it's called StageLight, and it's one of the first ones. It's a music editing app that lets you just do everything, MIDI, edit, all that. And it started out as a Windows app, Windows audio editing, so. Basically like GarageBand for Windows. But yeah.
I'm a little confused because they talk about the latency, which when we discussed it, if I remember right, was based on a problem in Linux. Like it was a Linux problem, which is why it became an Android problem. But are they saying that their app fixes that? Or are they saying that Android fixed it?
When they started testing that there was like this between half a second and 2 second latency issue. If you're trying to tap a beat out, right, on a pad on your phone or your tablet or whatever, your shit's going to be off because it's you're not hearing it when you're hitting it, like on a machine or something like that, a beat pad. Like their latency was too much. So then they said when Marshmallow came out, we were able to do this with like near zero latency because of is it the MIDI support or what? Let's see, what is it? It doesn't say.
So they specifically said Marshmallow because that's the part I didn't see.
Yeah, it says, but with the release of Android Marshmallow, this isn't the case. Open Labs, they worked with both Google and Intel to fine-tune StageLight's ability to perform on par with other pro audio editing apps. StageLight app is initially available for free download, but much like the Windows application, the free version lets users create new tracks, offers tutorials. The premium version is between $10 and $100 and lets you save tracks, share, upload to music sites like SoundCloud, use better looping tools, gain access to bigger sound libraries, stuff like that. They say even more than fixing the latency issues, they said bringing StageLight to Android will help further their company's goal, getting more people comfortable with making music. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna download it since my phone is Marshmallow now and see if it's anything worthwhile. But it looks cool, and I haven't seen anything yet to take advantage of this latency thing in Marshmallow. So
yeah, I'm looking. I Google around a little bit, and there's an XDA article where they're saying that Google reduced audio latency with Marshmallow, but that it is, quote, still not enough. And they're saying that they haven't been able to get under 10 milliseconds, which is,
that's
according to them,
close. But yeah, it isn't enough if you're actually trying to come out and be like, yeah, this is as good as iOS or Windows, you know.
Yeah. So maybe for a good first step, I'd love to hear what you your thoughts when you download it.
Yeah, looks interesting. So, all right. Well, anything else before we wrap this up?
One thing I just noticed is this article is on GigaOM, and I thought that site was killed last year, but it looks like a company bought it and brought it up. So that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, huh?
We've been duped.
No, it's glad to be back. I mean, it's back up and running. But some of the people I used to follow there, like Kevin Toffel, I just
O'Malley.
Yeah, O'Malley. It's
like O'Malley.
Like Gigo. I like that guy. I always enjoyed the twits that he was on. He was always educational.
So that's cool.
So Eric, what's our email address?
Our email address is show@attackoftheandroids.com.
What's our website?
Our website is www.attackoftheandroids.com.
Eric, you don't have to say the www.
It's http://www.attackoftheandroids.com.
Holy crap! That's home movies, right?
/index/.
Dude, I forget what I was watching the other night, but it was some TV show, and I kept hearing this voice. It was so familiar, and then he said something, and it snapped. And it was Coach McGurk's voice. I was like, no way! That was so good. I totally forget what I was watching, but yeah. All right, taggingandroids.com. Just like you said, check it out. We're on Stitcher, we're on iTunes, so leave us reviews and all that, and buy something through the Amazon portal because not enough people have those. I mean, we're like the only one. We're probably the only podcast you listen to that has one. I mean, come on. All right, come on. All right, thanks for listening. Peace out.
Bye.